Every Thanksgiving morning, millions of people line up on New York City streets for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and millions more watch it on TV as a bunch of massive balloon cartoon characters drift between skyscrapers. Some view it with awe and excitement, others tune in for the fails. But any way you carve it, the event commands attention, because only certain characters get picked to be 30 feet tall over the streets of Manhattan. The parade is essentially America's pop culture report card. And if you pay close attention to who's gotten a balloon over the years, you can actually track the moment anime stopped being niche and became a part of this American tradition. The inflatable giants in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade represent the current state of pop culture in this country. The thoughtful selection of characters is a careful process that almost precisely sums up what America collectively deems iconic enough to show in the biggest parade of the year. It's fluid and competitive. Certain characters remain enshrined forever, like Snoopy, and many fall from prominence quickly. And new faces have opportunities every year. If they make the cut, that is. When something does make its way into the lineup and ends up floating over the 2.5-mile stretch of city blocks in the Big Apple, it's indicative of holding a space in American pop culture and the collective consciousness. The longer it lasts, the more prominent that space is. That reality brings up an interesting point regarding anime. Over the last decade, with growing prominence, anime has further cemented its place in the upper echelon event of pop culture royalty. Anime characters like Pikachu and Luffy have already made the cut for this celebration. And as more are introduced, who knows what the future might hold? With anime's current trajectory as the entertainment force, it can only deepen its connection with this country, and now with this autumn pastime. But before we dive into this any further, if you enjoy exploring anime through a cinematic lens, then be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. That way, you don't miss out on any upcoming videos from me. Now, let's get back into how anime has made its way into this Thanksgiving tradition. The parade started in 1924, long before televised pop culture even existed. A few years later, in 1927, the giant character balloons were introduced, and they quickly became the main attraction. Over time, characters that float above Manhattan tend to be ones who feel instantly recognizable to a huge range of viewers. Snoopy, Mickey Mouse, Superman, Garfield. These aren't just popular characters, they were cultural anchors, familiar, and universally legible. By the time the TV became a household staple, the parade was broadcast nationally. It was no longer just a holiday entertainment, it became a ritual. Millions of families watch the same broadcast at roughly the same time year after year, whether it's live or on delay. That gives the parade a strange amount of cultural power. If a character appears here, they aren't just beloved, they get folded in the shared American memory. The balloon lineup reflects that. Macy's gravitates towards characters that feel universal. Recognizable faces, simple silhouettes, and icons that translate instantly. Brands might foot the bill, yes, but Macy's still determines who fits the scale and spectacle of the parade. For decades, that space was almost entirely dominated by American icons, including Peanuts, Disney, Marvel, and Sesame Street. Even when Japanese characters like Sonic or Hello Kitty appeared, they were treated as global brand mascots or video game icons, not representatives of anime or manga. So, when anime characters started appearing in the parade, not just as mascots, but visibly as anime, it marked a real shift. It meant something had changed in how the majority of America sees Japanese media. And the parade of all things became the place where that shift played out in front of millions of people easing into their Thanksgiving morning. Pikachu made his Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade debut in 2001 during the 75th annual parade, and just a few years after Pokemon took off here in the US. By that point, America had succumbed to severe Pokemania. There were Game Boy games and trading card craze, and a new movie. And of course, the anime running consistently on kids' TV blocks. Millions of children recognize Pikachu's silhouette just as well as Mickey Mouse's. From Macy's perspective and the view of Pokemon's marketing team, Pikachu was the perfect encapsulation of what a good balloon is. Part of what made Pikachu an ideal parade pick is that he isn't tied to just one medium. He's from games, he's from the anime, he's on lunchboxes and trading cards. Executives could frame him however they wanted, and kids at home recognized him instantly. He's cute, bright, round, easy to identify from several stories below, and simple enough to turn into a 30-foot balloon without losing that expression. And Pikachu didn't just make a single appearance, he kept returning with new designs. There's a 2006 version with the Pokeball, the 2014 Winter Pikachu with the Little Snowman, and the 2021 Pikachu and Eevee sled balloon. The balloon designs keep evolving, but the meaning doesn't. Pikachu has officially become a Thanksgiving regular. Pikachu is no longer a novelty guest from a hot new kids show. He's become part of the visual language of Thanksgiving morning, floating alongside Snoopy, SpongeBob, and the rest of the American canon. Even though Pikachu is not technically marketed as the first anime character in the parade, he is the little ambassador who proves that Japanese franchises can thrive inside a very specific American ritual. It opened a door. It took almost a century of parades before an anime hero finally joined the balloon lineup. In 2018, Goku from Dragon Ball soared over Manhattan as the first anime and manga character ever featured in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. For anyone who grew up watching Toonami after school, that image was surreal. The guy you watched screaming his way into Super Saiyan form is now floating calmly above the marching bands and the Broadway musical numbers. Goku's debut that year ties directly into the release of Dragon Ball Super Broly, part of a broader moment where anime films were starting to get proper theatrical runs and flexing real marketing muscle in the US. Goku's presence said out loud what fans had known for years. Dragon Ball isn't niche. It's baked into American pop culture as any superhero. Every Thanksgiving since, Goku gets an invitation like he's a part of the family. He became proof that anime can hold the same space as Snoopy or Spider-Man in this shared American ritual. In 2023, Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece joined the parade as his very own balloon. One Piece had already exploded into Western awareness, helped along by the long-running anime, the Netflix live-action series, and a wave of merch and theatrical releases. Luffy's arrival isn't a novelty act. It signals that his story is entrenched in the same mainstream space as Americans' own pop culture legends. Watching Goku and Luffy float alongside Pikachu feels less like a parade lineup and more like a full-blown Shonen Jump crossover in New York's airspace. At that scale, these balloons stop functioning as simple character cameos. They become symbols, a visual shorthand for how anime has moved from subculture to the shared culture. The parade continues to reflect the audience that watches it. Right now, the audience has grown up with anime or recently found appreciation for it. At this point, seeing anime characters in the Macy's parade isn't a surprise anymore. It doesn't feel novel, nor does it feel gimmicky. By 2025 standards, it just feels like a natural choice, because these characters are instantly recognizable now, and they're a part of the collective pop culture vernacular. What used to be a niche interest that would have gotten you made fun of for watching it is now gliding above as a feature in one of the most widely watched holiday broadcasts in America. And with Goku and Luffy being a part of Thanksgiving morning, it signals something bigger about the medium. Anime isn't just something Americans watch. At a certain point, repetition becomes tradition. When anime balloons return year after year, they stop reading as additions and start reading as fixtures. At the rate things are going, seeing someone like Tanjiro join the lineup wouldn't feel wild. It almost feels expected. Pikachu signaled a shift, and Goku solidified it, and Luffy proved it had staying power. And now, every Thanksgiving morning, millions of people wake up, turn on their television and see anime characters sail through the air between skyscrapers as if they've always belonged there. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade doesn't just reflect culture, it shows what has already been absorbed into it. And anime isn't hovering at the edges anymore. It's a part of the tradition, stitched into the background of a holiday built on shared rituals and familiar icons. It's a reminder that good stories don't stay local. They travel, they take root, and sometimes they end up floating above Manhattan on Thanksgiving morning. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and now I want to hear from you. So tell me, who do you think will be the next anime character to become an inflatable parade fixture? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy exploring anime through a cinematic lens, then be sure to like the video, tap the bell, and subscribe to the channel. I will see you all next time. Bye!